How to handle financial power struggles in your relationship without resentment or control. Have you ever felt that money decisions in your relationship turn into power struggles, even when you both earn well? Research shows that financial conflict is the #1 predictor of divorce, more than disagreements about sex, chores, or even parenting. But here's the twist. Money fights are rarely about money. They're about meaning, trust, and control. Today, we're going to break down the emotional drivers of financial tension, and I'll give you practical tools to navigate them without losing love, respect, or your own sense of security. If you run a business with your partner, these struggles can get even more complicated. The lines between household finances and business decisions blur, and tensions can spill from the boardroom into the bedroom. We'll also look at specific ways to keep your business partnership and romantic partnership healthy at the same time. Why money fights feel so personal. Money is more than numbers. It's a proxy for safety, freedom, and even identity. David Richo talks about the 5 A's, or core needs that shape our relationships: attention, acceptance, appreciation, affection, and allowing. A power struggle often signals a breakdown in one or more of these areas. For instance, if you feel like your contributions aren't appreciated, financial decisions can quickly become a way to reclaim power or recognition. Take the example of the founder I once coached. He felt anxious every time his partner wanted to spend on home renovations. To him, cash on hand represented survival. For her, a comfortable home meant stability and success. They weren't fighting about tiles, they were fighting about safety. Before you solve the disagreement, you have to decode the emotional story underneath it. This is where you begin unloading your backpack, looking at how your family of origin handled money, scarcity, and power. If you grew up in a household where money was a source of fear, you might oversave or try to control financial decisions today. If money was used as a reward or punishment, you may associate spending with guilt or rebellion. Understanding the weight of what you're carrying allows you to choose new, healthier patterns. If you and your partner co-own a business, these backpacks can collide in the boardroom. One of you may reinvest aggressively, while the other prefers to draw a salary and secure savings. Recognizing that these business decisions still carry emotional weight is crucial. Otherwise, the disagreement can spiral into accusations about ambition or commitment. Get curious before you get critical. In crucial conversations, one of the core ideas is start with heart. Stay focused on what you really want for yourself, for your partner, and for the relationship. Ask yourself, am I trying to win, or am I trying to create alignment? When emotions are high, it's tempting to accuse or withdraw. Instead, schedule a calm conversation when you're not in the middle of a conflict. Ask questions like, what does financial security mean to you? Or what lessons did you learn about money growing up? This not only opens up dialogue, but also helps you and your partner see each other's backpacks, the emotional histories you both bring to the table. 4 couples in business together have 2 separate conversations, one about the business's financial strategy and another about your household's financial needs. Mixing them often leads to confusion and unnecessary conflict. Clarity here helps both your company and your relationship thrive. Build a shared money vision. Kim Scott, in Radical Candor, reminds us that healthy relationships combine caring personally with challenging directly. Financial transparency is a form of caring personally. Sit down and create a shared vision for what money does for you as a couple. Is it freedom, impact, security, fun? Draft a simple money mission statement. For example, we prioritize freedom and growth, so we save 20% and allow 10% for guilt-free spending. Couples who set clear categories, long-term savings, shared expenses, and personal allowance, report lower resentment because each person has autonomy. Turning money into a collaboration project changes the energy from adversarial to aligned. If you're running a business together, create a parallel business mission statement. Agree on how profits will be distributed, how much gets reinvested, and under what circumstances you'll pay yourselves more. This shared vision keeps you from relitigating the same money argument every quarter. Negotiate power, don't avoid it. Avoiding the power conversation doesn't make it go away, it just drives it underground. Richo reminds us that adult love requires both boundaries and responsibility. Distinguish between shared power, the big decisions like saving goals and family budgets, and individual power like discretionary spending. Set up regular money check-ins, short scheduled conversations that normalize talking about finances. One couple I worked with made a simple rule. Any purchase over $500 triggers a quick conversation. It's not about permission, it's about alignment. When you're also co-founders, hold a weekly founder finance sync. Use this time to separate business cash flow from personal budgeting. This keeps one partner from feeling ambushed at dinner by an unexpected expense or investment decision. Talking openly about power preserves trust and prevents covert battles from developing. Address emotional triggers early. Financial fights can be amplified by stress. Crucial conversations teaches us to notice when dialogue becomes unsafe and to restore safety quickly. Use a clear conversational approach. Share facts, tell your story, ask for your partner's perspective, talk tentatively, and invite them to respond. Instead of saying, "You're reckless with money," try, "I noticed 3 large purchases this month. I feel anxious because we're close to our savings limit. Can we revisit our plan together?" This is also the place to bring in loving kindness, both for yourself and your partner. Rather than seeing them as an adversary, take a breath and remind yourself, this is someone I love, not someone I have to defeat. Compassion shifts the energy from conflict to collaboration. For entrepreneurial couples, emotional triggers might show up as arguments over business risk-taking. If one partner feels anxious about taking on a loan or hiring aggressively, acknowledge that fear before debating the numbers. A quick phrase like, "I hear that this feels risky to you," can prevent escalation. Naming facts and feelings early prevents resentment from festering and keeps the conversation collaborative. Respect autonomy and reduce scorekeeping. Constantly tracking who spent what erodes intimacy and builds resentment. Adult-to-adult relationships work best when there's trust. Separate joint commitments, like savings goals and household expenses, from individual freedom. Give each partner a no-questions-asked discretionary budget. Even a small amount lowers tension around personal choices and builds trust. Autonomy isn't indulgence. It's a way of saying, "I trust you." Respecting your partner's freedom is an act of loving kindness that reinforces emotional safety. If you run a business together, also respect each other's zones of expertise. If one of you handles operations and the other handles sales, avoid micromanaging each other's spending decisions in those areas unless it crosses the thresholds you've agreed upon. This balance of trust keeps both your relationship and your company culture healthy. Revisit and adjust. Your financial agreement is a living system, not a one-time contract. Schedule a quarterly money review where you look at progress, celebrate wins, and make adjustments. High performers often find these check-ins motivating because they turn money talks into strategic planning sessions rather than firefighting sessions. For couples in business, combine these quarterly check-ins with a business financial review. This creates a rhythm where you celebrate both personal and professional wins, strengthening the sense that you're partners in every sense. When you treat money as a shared project, you build resilience into the relationship. Executive summary. First, decode the story beneath the money fight. It's rarely about dollars. Second, align on a shared money vision before you debate numbers. And third, negotiate power openly and revisit the plan regularly so resentment never takes root. Above all, practice loving kindness for yourself and your partner to keep money conversations grounded in care, not combat. And if you're running a business together, treat your household and company finances as two intertwined but distinct systems. Regularly review both create shared agreements, and honor each other's contributions so that money becomes a tool for growth, not a weapon in power struggles. If you're interested in intelligent and informed content about social-emotional development at work, subscribe to the channel and share. Your support means a lot. See you next time.